What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk. And today we're going to be talking about getting you back into the season with your nutrition. So what I mean by this is, coming into pre-season, if you are someone who has seasons in your sport. So whether you're a rugby player, soccer player, AFL player, there are certain seasons with marathon running and cycling and stuff like that. Triathlons, they're usually towards the end of the, in Australia anyways, towards the end of the year and the start of the year, because that's the hotter months where you can get in the water and stuff like that, which, usually triathletes and things may not always take time off, but you might also. But basically, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a a bit of education when it comes to pre-season nutrition overall, because one thing that usually happens when you do come out of season is we tend to get a little bit more lax with our nutrition. We can eat a little bit more food. You might put on a few kilos, which is fine. You might track, you might not track. Whatever happens, sometimes it's just good to relax when you're finished in season training or whatever it is. And if you do have an off season, you're actually taking time off itself from your sport, which is fine. The most important thing when it comes to getting back into, nutrition side of things is to firstly get enough protein in, because injury rate is actually highest in preseason, funnily enough. And it's because people have had time off, their nutrition hasn't been up to par, and especially with protein intake, if your protein intake is lower than usual, you have a higher chance that you can actually hurt yourself. And so if we can get you eating more protein first and foremost as your focus, that would be the ideal thing, especially coming into season. If you need to cut a little bit of weight, people just cut calories in itself and try and eat as little as possible in order to lose that extra weight. And the coach usually doesn't care how you do it. They just want to see the weight come off. It's probably not always the best approach, to be honest. And with that, again, we can just prevent you from having injuries, which would be ideal. And also in saying that, just also, again, help you with your performance getting into preseason. Because if you can perform well in preseason, your fitness level is up to standard and you can get there quicker, that's going to be a good thing. So first and foremost, getting plenty of protein in. So ideally, I would say go above 2 grams per kilogram body weight if you haven't been looking at protein lately, and aim for 2.2 grams per kilogram body weight. Now, this is going to be a little bit higher than what I would usually recommend, which is 2 grams. But again, there is a reason for it, and it's because we're trying to prevent any injuries that could be occurring. So protein, 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Secondly, you probably do want to get back into the tracking side of things at the start, just so you are getting adequate protein in, because it's very hard to guesstimate unless you are someone who's been doing tracking for a while. Whereas if you have, you don't need to track. But if you're someone who's still not 100% sure, get back into tracking, even if it's for a week or two, just to get an idea with how your protein is going. Right. Secondly, getting in plenty of micronutrients. So this is why we want to get you back on the fruits and veggies, aiming for about 300 to 500 grams of veggies a day, and then aiming for about 300 to 500 grams of fruit a day. Now, usually with the general daily recommendations for just normal people, it's 375 grams of veggies and it's 150 to 300 grams of fruit. I am giving you an upper limit, a higher recommendation, so you can get plenty of nutrients in your body. You're going to have probably a higher calorie demand than most people because of your sport. You also want to make sure you get in plenty of micronutrients to avoid any deficiencies or potentially deficiencies that you may have had that we want to make sure we're preventing, and that can be helped by having extra veggies and fruit in your diet. So 300 to 500 grams of each of them, and again, that's basically a kilo of food just between fruits and veggies for the whole day. If you have 500 grams or 500 grams, you're pretty full with that too, and that'll also make the dieting phase easier. Like if you're basically doing fruits, veggies, lean protein for the most part, having a little bit of carbohydrates will still be important, which you can get from your fruit, and then also from veggies, from like potatoes and things like that. You're going to be going pretty good in regards to, dropping a little bit of weight while being healthy overall, but again, we don't want to completely cut out carbohydrates because they're going to be your energy source. So thirdly, focusing on getting some whole grains in. So brown rice, brown pasta, wholemeal bread, wholemeal wraps, whole grain, multi-grain, any of those names that you're going to see in here, they're going to be primarily what you're going to be focusing on. Because Again, if your goal is to lose some off-season weight and you're focusing on getting carbohydrates from whole grain sources, you're getting fruits and veggies in, you're getting lean protein, it's going to make the dieting process quite easy. You're not going to be in a low energy availability, although I'd hope that you wouldn't be in a low energy availability. And because of not being in a low energy availability, you're not going to have any chance of injury. And also you're going to just be feeling better overall, getting those quality nutrients in. So that's kind of the three main things you'd want to focus on. And then if we could look at that across at every meal, you think, where's my fruit? Or where's my plants, basically, so fruits or veggies? Where's my protein? And where is my whole grains, basically? So breakfast time, where's my protein? 2 YoPros. Where's my whole grains? Wheat Bix or oats, right? Where's my plants? It's going to be fruit, easy thing. Lunchtime, where's my protein? Chicken breast. Where's my plants? It's going to be stir-fry veggies. And where's my whole grains? It's going to be brown rice. Afternoon snack. Where's my whole grains? It's 2 slices of wholemeal bread. Where's my protein? It's going to be some lean turkey breast, like slices of turkey. Where is my plants? Well, I'm going to have, tomato cut up, and what else do you have? I don't know. Tomato, avocado, and lettuce, right? There you go, bang. Dinner time, same thing. Piece of steak, veggies, whole bunch of potatoes on there. Boom, done. Quite simple meals that you can have. They're going to be full of nutrients and quite, I want to say healthy, but, jam-packed to help support you on the way getting back into your training, right? Now, along with that, you'd want to be supplementing vitamin D. The reason with supplementing vitamin D, based on where you live, if you're in Australia, let's say, again, pre-season is going to be September, October, you've just been in winter for 3 months. Get some fucking vitamin D in you, because it's going to be hard. We don't absorb vitamin D from the sun if we're covered up. And if you're actually in other areas of the world, you have a higher chance of being vitamin D deficient, especially in places like the UK, darker countries like the Nordic countries and stuff like that. Even in the US, you can be quite vitamin D deficient, especially since we're working inside all day for the most part. You as an athlete may or may not work, but if you're covered up or you're not getting enough sunlight, and unfortunately sunlight is only exposure at certain times of the day where you can actually get the vitamin D. So if you're not getting the D at those times, then taking a supplement will be important. Along with that vitamin D supplement, it should be a vitamin D and K2 supplement, okay? Because what we're trying to do here is prevent any injuries from loss of bone mineral density, right? And vitamin D and K will help with that strengthening your bones overall. So that's very, very important. And then also, you can also get a calcium supplement, but if you're not vegetarian or vegan, having your YoPro yogurts or having milk or dairy or cheese, dairy products, so cheese, milk, what else am I trying to think of here? You can get almond milk, you can get tofu, some veggies have a little bit of calcium, but ideally you want to be making sure you're getting it from dairy sources. And then if you're having 2 to 3 servings of dairy a day, that's also going to help with bone strength. So basically the goal here is prevention of any injuries, right? And to get you sufficiently fueled with plenty of micronutrients overall to help make sure you're supporting your training and feeling good. All right, so it's not really anything revolutionary, but there are just some things you want to be nailing. And again, I would recommend tracking at the start just so you can see, are you getting enough in, You'll definitely be getting enough fiber in if you're having half a kilo of fruit and veggies a day. You'll definitely be getting in plenty of nutrients if you're getting that. You're going to be getting a good serving of protein at every meal. So you should be definitely getting that 2.2 grams of protein. And then getting those whole grains in, again, for your carbohydrate sources to help fuel you and recover. That's going to be quite a well-balanced diet overall. And that should be supporting your goals. So that's a really, really good thing. And again, at the end of the day, the goal here is prevention, because the last thing you want to do, get into preseason, start training hard, start trying to lose some weight, cutting back calories too much, causing any injuries, and then you set yourself out for longer or potentially the fucking year, depends on what you do. So this is what our goal is here. It's just to help you prevent that overall. And there's some simple methods that you can do, Again, supplements, vitamin D, you can get vitamin D with calcium or vitamin D with K2. I would probably say K2 for the most part, just because, again, you can get calcium from your food. I don't know if you can get a vitamin D, K2, and calcium all together. So I don't think so. If you're in Australia, Osteline is I'm pretty sure it's called Osteline, Osteillaan, if I can recall correctly, is the brand that I'd recommend. They're quite good with their vitamin D formulations with the K2 and the calcium, so keep an eye out for them. But yeah, just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a, preempt of what you should be focusing on when you get back into preseason. If you guys have any questions about sports nutrition, you can message me on Instagram at Tyson the Trainer with 2 R's. And until next time, guys, speak to you then.